From WFRV TV, Local 5, serving Northeast Wisconsin, including Green Bay, Fox Cities, and the Lakeshore. This is Newsmaker Sunday.
Good morning. Welcome to Newsmaker Sunday. I'm Tom Zalaski. It is a new era for the city of Oshkosh. They just elected a new mayor. They have plenty of events and projects coming up. And joining us this morning, the man who knows everything and anything about the city of Oshkosh, City Manager Mark Roloff. Mark, nice to have you back again. Thanks for joining us this morning. 12 years in office as the city in Oshkosh as city manager, but you came with some experience to that office, did you not, before you came there?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm closing in on 15 actually.
Okay.
Time's gotten away from both of us, Tom. I will be in August celebrating my 40th year in public service. So I've been working in local government for 40 years, 30 years of which have been in Wisconsin. So I've been city manager here in Oshkosh for almost 15 years now. I was 12 years in Grand Chute and 4 years in Berlin. So lots of years and lots of memories. Happy to have a career in public service and happy to have some of the accomplishments that I'm proud of.
How is Oshkosh service different than what you did in the previous two cities?
Well, the city of Oshkosh is only one of 20 communities in the state of Wisconsin that operate under Chapter 64 statutes, which is the city manager form of government. So the other groups were, you reported to the elected body, but most of the department heads are actually appointed by the council or the town board. Here in Oshkosh, I'm responsible for all of the employees. They all report to me. I serve the city council. They're somewhat the board of directors, and the citizens are the shareholders, and they elect their board of directors every 2 years. And I'm happy to serve whoever the electors bring to that table. And I've been serving them for 15 years here in Oshkosh, and plan to do it for a little while longer as well.
So 3 different cities for city manager. They don't teach that in college, how to be a city manager. What prepared you for this position?
Well, I'll tell you, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and I saw a lot of how local government should not work.
Not work, yes.
A lot of tension, a lot of just abrasion that went into the process. And I said, there has to be a better way. And so as I took classes in college, I learned about city management and said, I think this is a better way to do things. And I just picked up on it and then went to graduate school for that very purpose. And the rest is history, I guess. So
first job out of graduate school, what did you do?
I was a management intern in the city of Fort Collins, Colorado. So I've been in Colorado, California, and Wisconsin. So 3 different states, 6 different cities over my 40-year career.
So when you first started in the city manager's jobs, did you know what the job entailed, or was it kind of learn as you went along?
There's a lot of learning as you go along, but I had the fortune of working for some great people who had been city managers in Colorado, California. And then as I grew into the position, I just kind of picked up those little tricks that they taught me along the way, and now I'm teaching those same tricks and skills to other people that work for me.
Are you today where you thought you would be, say 20 years ago, 30 years ago?
30 years ago, I would say, yeah. When I came to Wisconsin, made a decision that I wanted to stay here. My wife is from Wisconsin originally, so the family is still in the area, and we still enjoy living here. I've had the fortune of being able to be in pretty much 25 miles within the city of Oshkosh for my entire 30-year career. That's very unusual, and I consider myself extremely blessed and fortunate to have been able to kind of stay in the same area and raise our family in this area.
And was this the profession you had envisioned yourself in?
Well, when I started through college, I was like, this is something I want to do. And graduate school was specifically, I went to one of the top schools in the country for city management. So yeah, that was my goal all along. Sometimes I've questioned myself on that. There are some challenging days, but at the end of the day, you really, I think local government's closest to the people. It has the most impact, and I'm able to have an impact on people's lives every day, whether it's dealing with utility issues, police, fire, making sure our parks look great, those are the types of things that I really enjoy, and I get so much satisfaction from it.
You have challenging days, you have good days. You just recently gave a State of the City address. What were some of the things you highlighted?
A lot of them have to do with the collaborations that we have with so many different communities and different aspects of our community. When I think about our nonprofit agencies and our philanthropic agency, we've got a wonderful partner in the Oshkosh Area Community Foundation, as well as the business community, talking to them about different things. We may not necessarily agree on everything, but certainly we want to make sure that we're moving the community forward. So we talked a lot about that. Part of our job is primarily infrastructure, getting that taken care of. So we talked a lot about the different projects that we're working on and continuing those projects, because sometimes they don't get done in 1 year. It's a multi-year project. So I'm excited to talk about those things and try to show how they fit in with the big picture. We've had our council work on a strategic plan, and we keep revisiting that plan every other year to make sure we're on target and that we are still on track where the council wants us to go. And then they put it upon me and the staff to carry that out. And keeping our eye on that path really helps us get the progress that I'm so proud of.
Our guest this morning, Oshkosh City Manager Mark Roloff. We have much more to come after this. Please stay with us. We're back now with Oshkosh City Manager Mark Roloff. We are entering road construction season. Oshkosh not immune, as other cities are, to road constructions. What are some of the major projects that you got going on, highways, roadways? We
are well underway. Last year we did Algoma Boulevard right through the heart of the university. So now we're getting to some of the areas immediately around the University, Wisconsin Avenue. That has been somewhat of a lunar surface for many years, and getting that done was a huge initiative, and there were plenty of people in the neighborhood that wanted to see that done. But one of the things we have to do, especially with a community as old as Oshkosh, we're one of the oldest cities in the state. We have utilities that still date back to the 1880s. So when we do the street project, we just can't look at the surface, which is very obvious. It's what's below the surface. And so we're still replacing some 1880 sewers this year in and around the university area.
And you called it a lunar surface.
It was pretty rough. And so we've been working pretty heavily on getting a lot of those projects done. And I think the residents, they're paying the bill, so I think they want to see those types of projects done. We ask patience because we can't get them all done at once. That's obviously an issue, but we also try to explain the logic behind it, because it can be Wisconsin Avenue was bad for a number of years, but it was really making sure that we took care of some of the connecting sewers in that area, so that when we do put new sewers in, that they're delivering and getting rid of all the sewage in the process. So somebody has to be looking at that stuff, and our engineers do a great job of piecing it all together to make sure the project's done right. Yeah,
it ain't all glamour.
No, it sure isn't.
No.
Yeah.
You've got some city building projects underway. Oshkosh Parks Department Administration and Operations Building. What's behind that?
Oshkosh City has been very good at taking hand-me-downs. We've taken hand-me-downs from so many different other governmental entities. Our City Hall is the old Oshkosh High School from the 1920s. Our Parks Department was Fox Valley Technical College wood shop for a number of years, and we took it over in the 60s. And so it was already 20 years old when we took it on, so it's well over 70 years old and needs to get replaced. So that was well overdue. I told our parks director 12 years ago when I started, yeah, we're going to start this project any year. Well, I kind of lied to him because it took 12 years to get it done, but we're excited. It's going to improve efficiency so much. We did our public works garage 10 years ago. It was completed, and we are now getting our people out the door about 18 minutes earlier every single day. Well, that's 18 minutes per person per day. The efficiency is really improved, and I think we're going to get that same level of efficiency from our parks folks, who will be able to more efficiently grab their gear, grab their equipment and their car and get out the door and do what they're supposed to be doing.
Another building project you have going, Lakeshore Park Four Seasons building. What's behind that?
That was part of the whole process to encourage Oshkosh Corporation to stay. One of the offshoots of that, there were some people that were angry about the golf course, but we preserved the remainder of that as a city park. And we wanted to get a facility there. And the location of this four-season shelter is right where Lake Butamore and the Fox River come together. So it's a beautiful vantage point that people will be able to use. And we don't have a four-season shelter anywhere in the city. So this will enable us to have people, if they want to have a birthday party in the winter, they can have it there at the park and have a beautiful overlook. And I think it's going to be great for the boating community, because that's where all the walleye fishermen and the sturgeon spearers all come together. And we're going to be very happy to have that type of facility available. I think it'll help attract more fishing tournaments. We already host 70 fishing tournaments a year in Oshkosh.
Really?
People love coming to Oshkosh to fish. So this is just another facility that will enable us to have more events in Oshkosh, and now it'll be throughout the year.
Yeah. Some other developments you've got planned for the year. What's happening in your sawdust district?
We are actually, the council is just about to approve an agreement with T-Wall Enterprises out of the Madison area to put in some a brand new apartment complex, and then this is the old Miles Kimball building that is getting renovated into apartments that are directly across from where the T-Wall development will be. Mm-hmm. So on both sides of South Main Street, we're seeing some development going. We just extended this one because supply chain issues are a real challenge. So we're excited about both of these projects going on. I expect T-Wall will start breaking ground sometime in June, and their first opening will be in late 24. So we're excited that we're going to bring more residences downtown, that people can enjoy the Riverwalk and all of the amenities that we have downtown. I know the downtown businesses are excited about getting a lot of these folks, a lot of folks living downtown to enjoy what we have to offer already.
And all that in the hopper, plus you've got your Riverwalk.
We do, and the Riverwalk right in front of where the T-Wall, I think it's called the Mill on Main, is going to get done. That Riverwalk project is done. So it goes all the way over to the railroad tracks that go through the area. We're hoping to connect it now to go south over to Pioneer Island, and maybe that'll trigger the development on Pioneer Island. We've been waiting for a number of years, but I think we have to be patient with Pioneer Island because it's a gem, and we just don't want to throw anything in there. So I've been very patient and encouraged the council to be very patient, and they have been. It's privately owned, and we're working with the developer to actually put together a tiki bar that's adjacent to the marina on Pioneer Island. But he's still holding out to get a good quality development on the island itself, and hopefully we'll be able to do that in the near future.
Okay, and what's happening on your Oshkosh Avenue corridor?
Our Oshkosh Avenue corridor, because of what happened with Oshkosh Corporation, has really taken off. We put some pretty high standards in there. We have a gas station there, but it's probably one of the nicest gas stations you're going to see. It's got a lot of amenities and a lot of businesses like hotels and restaurants that kind of lend itself to being near an office park like Oshkosh Corporation represents. So we're excited about that. I think it's added some vibrancy to the interchange there at Highway 41 and Highway 21. Yeah. So it's a real crossroads that we're excited about people going there. I drive by that regularly, and the lines for all of the businesses there are doing very well. So we're excited about that. It's actually adding a good deal of tax increment, so much so that the intersection at Sawyer Street and Oshkosh Avenue is a very old intersection that is kind of dangerous. We're going to, probably by the end of the decade, have that completely redone with a regular, good old-fashioned intersection that will be safer and much easier for people to get around town.
We have much more to come right after this, so please stay with us. Back now with Oshkosh City Manager Mark Roloff. A lot of communities are doing these housing studies. Has Oshkosh done that? You just mentioned putting in some housing downtown. Housing
is a huge part of us diversifying our tax base and diversifying housing options. We just did complete a study, and there are several things that we have to work on. Certainly, low-income housing, which everybody recognizes as a challenge everywhere. Although nationally, people look at Wisconsin and say it's one of the more affordable places in the country. So we have to wrestle with that issue and try to figure out ways to make more affordable housing. I think we're going to be revisiting some of our housing programs, incentives to get people to either be a first-time home buyer or things like that, helping some of our nonprofits with the process to not give them direct rental assistance, but programs that can help them access programs that already exist. So rather than create a brand new program, just give them a link to those programs that are already available. But we also found that on the high end, we're lacking on the high end of housing. And we've been looking at some other communities throughout the valley, throughout Wisconsin, on what we can do to bring more high-end housing, because with an Oshkosh Corporation or an Amcor, we have executives that come in, and if they don't have housing available in Oshkosh, they're going to go somewhere, so they may not choose Oshkosh. So we really want to try to identify some areas that we can put some high-end housing in. And then having that diversity of housing, I think, helps our tax base and helps all of our residents.
As with a lot of other communities, especially Green Bay, we've got our flooding issues. Where are the hot spots in Oshkosh, and what are you doing to address those?
Yeah, well, I remember that I was hired 15 years ago, right after the storms in 2008, where it was just devastating. Yeah. And so we've done a lot. We've built some large ponds outside of the city to hold back the water from the upper areas, the agricultural areas, so that we can get rid of the water in the urban areas before the rural water gets into town, because we are the convergence of so many different watersheds in Oshkosh. It kind of all goes into a V formation right to the center, and that's where we've had a lot of our flooding in the past. Stringham Creek is probably our biggest challenge yet. Stringham Creek exists in name only, but it's really a series of undersized storm sewers that, again, date back to the late 1800s, early 1900s. So getting the capacity increased in those areas, particularly just north and east of where South Park is. We redid South Park a couple years ago, put in some stormwater detention there, but it's not enough. We've got to get the rest of the water down to the Fox River. So you're going to see about 3 more phases of a project over the next 5-6 years. So we still have work to do, but we recognize that it's the old adage, you eat an elephant one bite at a time. We slowly take a bite at this very major problem that exists throughout northeast Wisconsin.
Get there eventually. Back to housing, homelessness, it's everywhere. Is it an issue in Oshkosh? And if so, how are you dealing with it?
It is absolutely an issue in northeast Wisconsin. And when you take a look at the larger cities, and I would say that's us, Green Bay, Appleton, and Fond du Lac, we kind of become the magnet along the I-41 corridor. I'm happy to say that a nonprofit organization, the Day by Day Warming Shelter, is opening a brand new facility next month in Oshkosh. It'll house over 50 individuals. So I think their capacity, their estimated nightly capacity could be as high as 35, so there's a little more room. It's kind of a double-edged sword. I don't necessarily want us to become a magnet, but at the same time, if there are people who are homeless and these homeless shelters aren't available in other communities, there's really only 4 locations in the whole I-41 corridor, and we're one of them. So that's a reality we have to deal with. But I want to, I salute the folks at Day by Day. They've stuck with this on a temporary basis for about 11, 12 years now. Now they finally have a permanent facility that will much better serve the needs, rather than they're right now in an old church gymnasium, and that's just not a long-term solution. Now we have a long-term solution in Oshkosh.
Our guest this morning, Oshkosh City Manager Mark Roloff, and we are going to wrap things up right after this. Please stay with us. Back now with Oshkosh City Manager Mark Roloff. When you think of Oshkosh, everybody thinks EAA. What kind of an economic impact does that have? I mean, now it's got to be monstrous compared to when it first started.
It continues to be a huge draw for both people as well as economic activity. I believe that the estimate is EAA actually has a greater economic impact than even the Green Bay Packers in this area. That's how big EAA does it. And they do it year round. A lot of people don't realize it's more than just the fly-in. They have so many other events and attract so many people, but we're there to support them as best we can. They have an army of volunteers that dwarfs the services we provide, but we provide police and fire services, primarily fire because of the airport, and ambulance services, but we're great partners. They're great to work with, and they do truly believe in our community and are so committed to Oshkosh, and we really appreciate that.
And you got Waterfest coming up.
Waterfest, that's the Chamber of Commerce's concert series throughout the summer. They've already made some announcements about some bands that they have coming in this year. Yep. And it's a wonderful, down at the Leach Amphitheater. It brings so many people to downtown Oshkosh. And now with our Riverwalk in, people can go up and down the Riverwalk to go to different restaurants prior to the show. So a lot of activity in the downtown area because of Waterfest. And so I believe it's its 37th year coming up right now. So we're excited to be able to provide a wonderful venue in the Leach Amphitheater. And the Chamber does a great job of attracting people to downtown Oshkosh, and we're all in favor of that.
There was never not something going on.
Well, yeah, that's part of our allure is bringing people downtown, and then hopefully they come to town and maybe they want to start a business there or come and visit us.
Mark Roloffs, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
It's always a pleasure, Tom. Thank you.
Much appreciated. And if you have a newsmaker in your town that you think we should have on this program, let us know about it. Send us an email to tips@wearegreenbay.com, or you can message us on Facebook. And be sure to join us again Sunday morning at 7:30. Until then, have a great day.